Hello, Inland Empire Brewers. Welcome to this month's meeting. If you keg your beer, you know how important it is to get this clean. And there's really two ways to do it. You can soak it for a few hours in PBW and tear down all the posts and make sure they're clean, or you can use a CIP process. Today, I'm going to show you both. After that, we're going to fill them with Star San and use CO2 to push it out, making sure that there's nothing but CO2 in here for closed transfers. Before we open these kegs, remember they're under pressure, so always clear the PRV valve. Now I have my favorite sprayer, and this makes quick work of my initial rinse. So I'm going to put these ball locks onto the post. That's going to allow my cleaning solution to run all the way through the dip tubes and through the post, and that's why when we do a proper high pressure CIP process, we don't have to tear down the posts. Now we want to make sure we put the gas on the gas and the beer on the beer. We'll let that run for about 5 minutes. So full disclosure, I'm going to be running both of these kegs through my CIP process because it's just the process I trust most. All right, so we have two posts. We have the gas and we have the liquid. So the gas post is always going to have a little notch on it, and then I tend to always put my gas line on the side that has the little notches on my keg. That way I can feel it in the dark. Need a socket? We need an appropriately sized socket. I'll be right back. Nope, that's not it either. So for today's demonstration, both these kegs are going to go through the CIP process. And to demonstrate the soak and tear down, we're going to use this truly dirty keg. I've had this sitting in my garage for about 1.5 years. If you look carefully, you can see it's got all kinds of gunk just from being set in the corner and forgotten about. Even has a little sign here that says it's dirty. So we're going to take that off and we're going to make this clean. Now, I don't think this is under pressure, but just in case, never hurts to check. This keg uses a 7/8 socket. Just got to break the seal. Okay, so let's start with the gas. So when I bring the gas up, this keg has just a little bit of a nipple there, and that's all we have for the gas line. There is no other short dip tube. It's actually, oh, I'm sorry, it's right there. It is. So as you can tell, I don't take this one apart very often. But it has a very short dip tube. It has our O-ring right here, and then we have the innards of our keg, of our post. The innards of this one are very similar. This one might be ready to be rebuilt because it keeps having challenges sticking there. And honestly, I don't trust this one. So before the meeting, I will probably have this completely swapped out before I use it for sure. And then we have a longer dip tube. Goes all the way to the bottom. And again, we have our little O-ring right there. So we're going to take those out. Very important at this moment to take a little inventory. We have our two posts. We have whatever this is called. And we have our small, short, and our long dip tube. And we're just going to pop this one out. And that's trash. Let's see if I have a kit. I brought these out, and I've never liked the ones that have these little prongs. So we're going to go ahead and replace these today. We're going to get rid of those. And we're going to use, I believe this is a Keglin product called a Universal Poppet. Figures. There we go. So now back to our inventory. We have our original locks. We're doing a visual inspection, and the O-rings look good. I know the O-rings on these are good because I just got them. Those O-rings look good. And that O-ring looks good. So now we're going to get this all cleaned up. So I'm going to toss that in. I'm going to toss those in. And in with my brand new universal poppets. The only thing I don't have room for is this guy. So this one, I might need to change that O-ring also. Let me see if I have one. These may or may not fit. Okay. And we have a good O-ring. So I'm going to toss this in the bucket that I was just using for the CIP. Since I'm done with that, I'm done with that PBW. So I'm going to go ahead and toss this in that bucket, and then I'm going to hit it with a pipe brush. There's 3 basic ways to clean something: heat, chemical, or mechanical. And so what I'm doing with this dip tube right now is getting a little bit of chemical and some mechanical. For this demonstration, I think that's good. I'm going to go ahead and give it a rinse. I'm going to let these soak for about 30 minutes to an hour, and then we'll come back to this. Meanwhile, we'll go and get back to what we were doing with our CIP. The battery in our camera completely ran out, so we're charged up a little bit. We're going to finish our process. Hopefully we picked up right where we left off. Gonna put the fresh water, hook up these kegs, and finish our CIP. It's about 20 minutes per keg. And while that's going on, we're gonna take this keg and we're gonna get it ready for soaking. Same process before. Start with a rinse. We're only rinsing the PBW out of the kegs right now, so that's probably enough time. So this keg has been soaking long enough. We're gonna give it a good rinse. I'm gonna use my sprayer for this job. All right, let's put this back together. Quick inventory. This is my gas, you can tell by the notch. This is the liquid. Again, O-rings look good on both those. These are universal, so it could go in either one. When you use this spring, you want to put the poppet on the top of the narrow side of the spring. Push that right in there. And this is the short line, so we're going to go ahead and give that a little pressure. Again, this keg is labeled. This is out and this is in. So we want to put the gas line on the in. On this side, we're going to put the, I think you can see that, we're going to put the long. Now notice it doesn't go all the way in unless it's turned in the right direction. which is right to the center. So we want that right into the center, and then it goes all the way in. We load the poppet. And now it's all back together. We can sanitize and purge this one just like the others. That completes our water rinse. So a pro tip, always use, what is this stuff called? Keg lube. Always use keg lube, even when you don't think you need it. Now we got to burp this one. That's how I used to do it, 10 burps. So this concludes the portion of this presentation that is going to be on video. And the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take a keg apart live. So let's go ahead and get to that.